The new-look Kansas City Chiefs is exactly what the NFL feared. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is, the Kansas City Chiefs draft class are going to shock the NFL world. For the first time in the Brett Veach general manager tenure, the Chiefs led their draft with back-to-back players who reside on the same side of the football as Patrick Mahomes. The timing isn't coincidental. The Chiefs ranked 15th in the NFL in scoring last season and 9th in yards, their worst marks in either category since Mahomes arrived in Kansas City in 2017. The Chiefs weren't targeting general help for their offense. They were more specific: wide receiver, tackle. They escaped the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft with one of each aided in their pursuit by classes that were deep at the 2 positions they most coveted. They took Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy in the first round and BYU tackle Kingsley Suamataia in the second, moving up via trades to select each. By the draft's end, they'd also added TCU tight end Jared Wiley and Washington State safety Jaden Hicks in the 4th, Penn State interior lineman Hunter Nourzad in the 5th, Tennessee cornerback Kamal Hadden in the 6th, and Holy Cross guard C.J. Hansen in the 7th. The 4.21 second time in the 40-yard dash caught everyone's attention, and I've already analyzed how that speed is a need, not a duplicate of something the Chiefs already had. But I want to spotlight a couple of other traits that moved Worthy up the Chiefs. The first? Route running. It's one of the first things Coach Andy Reid mentioned after the Chiefs made the pick, and it's a particularly important distinction from straight-line speed. Mecole Hardman has terrific speed. Tyreek Hill has terrific speed and runs terrific routes. There's a difference. The second? Worthy had 62 catches and 981 yards in his first season with Texas, a freshman All-America season, and that led the Chiefs to a conclusion. He can pick things up quickly. It's not a secret that Reid runs a complex offense. We saw the way that offense slowly integrated Rashee Rice a year ago, asking him to learn one wide receiver position before layering more responsibilities as the season progressed. There's optimism, and I can't stress enough that he's yet to participate in so much as a minicamp practice without pads, yet that Worthy could come along at a quicker pace. That would be of notable importance, with Rice very likely to face a suspension to start the year. I think when guys can go from a high school level right to the University of Texas and spit out almost 1,000 yards as a freshman, said Veach, the Chiefs GM. Those guys typically can adjust and adapt quickly. The Chiefs traded up for their first and second round selections, but those trades were considerably more digestible than past years' deals. For one simple reason: pick swaps. The Chiefs traded with Buffalo more than a mild surprise to move to number 28 in the first round for Worthy. They relinquished 3 picks, but got 3 picks in return. The traded up just 1 spot for BYU left tackle Kingsley Suamataia in the second round, but again, 2 picks for 2 picks. I've long advocated for the Chiefs to trust their own history, even as I recognize pick swaps aren't always an option. In 2021, Inindeso Daswanifree, and 2022, the Chiefs sacrificed their total number of selections when they moved up the pecking order when, in reality, they need to only look at their own success in the late rounds to know that's a pretty expensive proposition. In 2022, they selected Leo Chenal in the 3rd round, Joshua Williams in the 4th, and Jalen Watson and Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th. In 2021, they got Trey Smith in the 6th. In 2020, it was L'Jarius Sneed in the 4th and Michael Dana in the 5th. In 2019, Nick Allegretti in the 7th. They draft well late. They should preserve the opportunity to repeat their own history. The Chiefs used a draft pick on a tight end for just the 3rd time in the last 11 years. And it took all of 2 days before this was no longer the biggest news about a tight end in Kansas City. The Chiefs re-upped Travis Kelce on Monday, 2 days after they selected TCU tight end Jared Wiley in the 4th round of the draft. Wiley is an intriguing option. Given his 6'7" frame, might he provide a red zone target? That's where he said he makes his money. But it's intriguing even before you look at the measurables and the specific skill sets. The Chiefs had a hidden need for tight end, I argued last month hidden because they already have Kelce, yet also a need because the best teams find replacements for their players a year before they actually need to find those replacements. The Chiefs are taking a flyer on Wiley and they'll know more about his ability while Kelce is still on the roster. That's how the best teams operate, and it's how one with fewer obvious questions should operate. The second story is Chiefs to sign talented UDFA nose tackle that the NFL slept on in the draft for all the wrong reasons. The Kansas City Chiefs are a popular landing spot for some of the top undrafted free agents following the 2024 NFL Draft, and they've already landed some great ones. After failing to draft a defensive lineman, the Chiefs jumped on the opportunity to sign Florida State DT Fabian Lovett, who inexplicably went undrafted. He'll earn a substantial contract from Kansas City, with $195K in guaranteed money. Lovett transferred to Florida State from Mississippi State in 2020 and would go on to appear in 39 games for the Seminoles. He posted 22 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 3 passes batted in 13 games in 2023. Lovett's peers named him a team captain during his final season. The 6th-year senior was given a 5th-round grade by The Athletic's Dane Brugler and was his number 17 ranked defensive tackle in the 2020 class. Expected reasons that Lovett Sr. went undrafted. Firstly, he's one of the older prospects in this draft class at 24 years old, and he'll turn 25 in December of his rookie season. The second is that he's battled injuries throughout his career, including a lower leg foot injury that kept him out for several games in 2022. When you turn on the tape, it's clear that teams should have looked past both issues. He has the potential to be an instant impact player for Kansas City in an area where they need some help on the defensive side of the ball, the run game. Listed at 6'4" and 316 pounds, Lovett is a space-eating defensive tackle who offensive linemen have trouble moving off his spot. He can shed blocks and fill gaps quickly as a two-gapper, clogging up running lanes with his wide frame and 35.5-inch arms. He's not the flashiest athlete, posting a 5-second 40-yard dash, 26 reps in the bench press, 25.5-inch vertical jump, a 101-inch broad jump, a 7.5663 cone, and a 4.82 short shuttle at his pro day. He only had moderate success as a pass rusher, with 6 sacks during his career, mostly succeeding on cleanup duty. There are, however, a few flashes that make you think he could produce more there under the right circumstances. Ultimately, this signing is all about defending the run. Kansas City has struggled to find a player to pair with Chris Jones on early downs. Derek Nottie was satisfactory early in the 2023 NFL season, but his play quickly tapered off, and then he got hurt. Mike Pennell filled in nicely late in the year, but finding a longer-term option to command double teams and clog lanes could really open things up for the defensive line. The third story is before March. The past year could not have gone any better for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. He was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2023 NFL Draft to Kansas City, a dream landing spot where head coach Andy Reid schemes up wide-open touchdowns for his skill position players. The Chiefs, despite being in the process of kickstarting a dynasty, had a dearth of wide receiver talent, which gave Rice the opportunity to climb to the top of the depth chart. Rice blossomed into the most reliable wide receiver on the Chiefs' offense last season. Rice was primed to improve on his rookie campaign, especially since the Chiefs' offseason additions would avert defensive attention away from the young wideout more often. Instead, Rice could miss a majority of the 2024 season after he caused a crash involving a half-dozen vehicles on a Dallas highway in March. During an appearance on Steve Smith's Agent 89 Breakdown podcast, NFL insider James Palmer emphatically stated that Rice is going to miss a significant portion of the season. "He's going to be suspended, let's just put it out there," Palmer said. "We're expecting half a season, at least." Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio speculated that Rice could miss the entire 2024 campaign as more details about the crash emerged. Rice could be disciplined in accordance with the NFL's personal conduct policy. The league may opt for a significant suspension after recent incidents involving street racing and excessive racing have directed the spotlight on NFL players. Most notably, Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs was responsible for a fatal crash caused by excessive speeding in 2021. Although Rice's actions didn't result in death, the crash left at least 7 people injured. The Chiefs secured star tight end Travis Kelce for the next 2 years. And they added 2 speedsters to their offense this offseason. The addition of wide receiver Marquise Brown has the potential to be the most underrated signing in free agency. Brown, who previously played for the Arizona Cardinals and Baltimore Ravens, has never been in a pass-heavy offense before. Then, Kansas City traded up to select wide receiver Xavier Worthy in the 2024 NFL Draft. Worthy generated buzz in the pre-draft process,